Paul gets in, another wide open three.
Pierre Cardin.
Defers to Booker for the long range.
Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing.
Welcome, everybody, to the Aussie Suns Fans podcast. I am your host, Gavin, and we are here with Nate. Only the two of us rolling today, Nate, which means that this should be fast, but let's be honest, everyone knows when you and I get together, shit gets loose. Anything could happen.
No cap.
No cap.
This is going to be all bullshit. This is going to be great.
Yeah, it's this is going to be, I don't think it'll be as loose as the last episode that we did.
I've got a fair bit of shit I want to hang on you, so, you know.
And I don't know, let's be honest, there's a chance I could smash down about 10 beers in the next hour anyway, so it could...
I'm sitting here with a bottle of Jack, so anything's fucking possible.
Anything is possible here. I think I've got like 3 bottles of Jameson over there somewhere, so anything could fucking happen, really.
Hey, look, check this shit out. So the jersey number is correct.
Was that your delivery? Was that your delivery today?
Jersey number is 1. They actually put a 1 on it. I'm really impressed.
That's fantastic. But that's not a Phoenix Suns jersey.
It is. It's the Booker Nike MVP series. So it's nice to have a different color that I can wear with other shit. I got the turquoise one for Durant as well, but let's face it, it's not going to go with a whole lot. But anyway.
Yeah,
it's great over here. It's melt territory, man. It's so fucking hot.
I wore it the other day, and we're going. We're still going. Go D3. See how long I last been up since 1:30. I've been up since I left Phoenix, so I'm doing real well.
Hey, on that note, I hear that you missed Boyd's birthday bash yesterday.
Yeah, no, and he's very unhappy with me. But as I said to him, I do have a wife and children, and I wanted to stay for Game 5, and I had to make a sacrifice somewhere, and I don't like Boyd that much.
Well, I mean, I would have just said I know where Boyd lives and fuck going that far, or if you want to go with the wife and kids angle, that's fine.
And also, let's be honest, Boyd had his 40th birthday bash last night, so happy birthday, Boyd, even though your birthday was about fucking 6 weeks ago.
It was 3 weeks ago, yeah.
Happy birthday to Boyd.
Our kid's 40 as well, right?
But no one's seen him today. Usually that fucker won't shut up in our group chat. He won't shut up in the Twitter chat. He's normally everywhere. Nobody's heard a peep from him today. And he was promising shotgun videos last night.
Right, in all fairness, he did message us yesterday and saying, if I'm alive.
Yeah, he did say that.
And I did text him after the radio silence and said, are you alive? And there's still no response. So that he's probably fucking sideways.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he's dead. But happy birthday for your 40th party. Spiel I missed it, Boyd. But as I said, I'll be up there in 2 weeks' time and we'll catch up then. And I'll give you a present because I fucking spent money on a present and then I didn't go. So I could have gotten away with it. Fuck it.
That means it was probably a Suns shop present.
No comments. Let's go back since we potted last. Obviously, was the night of. Was it the night we closed out against the Clippers?
No. It was game 6. Or was the game before, wasn't it? Game 5? After game 5?
Oh yeah, it was the night. It was the night I went and hung out with the Suns Jam crew, and we're pulling the Suns Jam tonight with only 2 of us. That was loose. I don't remember much of it. I tried to listen back to it and went, "Oh, this is a disgrace." I don't know if any of our fans out there that are checking out this one and managed to get through the last one. Congratulations, well done.
Because on that note, I did jump on there's so many pods were going on straight after the game. So I actually jumped on YouTube and watched a little bit of the jam session with Voider and Lissy afterwards. And just for everyone that's listening now, don't expect us to get too much into statistical analytics. We could, but John.
That's what everyone else does.
He does it well. So let's not rehash too much of that.
Yeah, and that's what everyone else does. We just sit there and we talk about what we saw, and that's pretty much all we're going to do. Okay, so let's talk about the last game of the Clippers. I was over there. I got to go. Thank you to So Says Jay, Justin, who hooked me up with a ticket.
So that's
Fantastic
who it was.
seats.
You didn't let on how
Yeah.
you got the seat. It was Justin.
Oh no, I did on Twitter. I did put a post up on Twitter saying thanks to Justin and thank you to Dave King and thank you to a couple of others there, Kevin B, who all messaged me saying they were trying to help me out with tickets. Really appreciate it. But in the end, Justin got me a ticket. I went and sat out there with Justin and Phil. I got to go, well, before the game, I caught up with Suns Tutu, Veronica, and
Nice.
a couple of hours over there. I went down and got to meet Al McCoy courtside. I got to meet Tim Kempton, who took me out onto the floor, which was awesome. The Clippers were warming up. I was going to try and kick Marcus Morris in the ankle because he was just behind me. Caught up with Sophie Cunningham. And Rex Chapman.
So that one I'm jealous of. I'm definitely jealous of the Sophie moment. I met Tim once. It was pretty awesome. I've met him twice now, but the second time I met him was really fun because he knows I'm a Mully fan, and he actually picked up my phone and has gone, you know what? Let's see if we can get you GCU tickets because he was still coaching GCU at the time. He picked up the phone, he got Dan's voicemail, left him a voicemail, said I'm here with some Aussie. He wants to come see a game. It didn't happen, but fuck, it was a funny moment. He's a good bloke.
During that week, I caught up with old mate out at Marley's, the co-owner out there, who was trying to hook me up with tickets as well. Saw him a couple of times because I did go to Marley's about 7 times in the 5 days I was there. They always look after us.
Why do you think I got this
They always look after us. They always look after us Aussies over there at Marley's. They're our number one bar. But yeah, just a phenomenal night. I got interviewed on the local media on Channel 12.
News. Channel 12.
Channel 12
was fucking cool, bro.
Yeah, I got the interview there, except there was a group of teenage Aussie basketballers that tried to steal my thunder, so I wasn't real happy with that.
Guys with actual talent.
And those idiots got to go down and meet Jock. Come on, Jesus Christ!
Hey, they've got transferable talent that they're probably going to get paid for one day, unlike us fucking cunts, right?
What are you talking about? I'm the greatest over 35s basketballer in Sunbury. But phenomenal game. Devin Booker, 47 points, 27 in the third quarter. By then, I was about 42 beers deep. Just a phenomenal experience, though, to be in footprint for a playoff game. And can't wait to be back there in June watching an NBA Finals game. And we'll get into today, but yeah.
Get back to me, mate. I can. I've got some leave up my sleeve where I can jump on that cheap flight and.
Oh, we're fucking doing it, man.
Flight coach and
I've already got
get over there.
I've already got us a couple of offers for floors to sleep on, which means we don't have to fuck around with accommodation, which is going to be tough if we try to go over in finals.
Just
means
careful
this time
accommodation too, because I want to give off wristies, for free accommodation. I've got some boundaries.
Well,
not many.
I kind of did promise these people that offered me accommodation that you would give them wristies, not me, because
you got to stop doing that, buddy. Yeah,
dude, we're going over. If we go over for the NBA finals, we've got to make sacrifices, right?
Yeah, right.
Fine. And they should be your sacrifices because I'm doing the work to plan it all.
But this time we won't have to. The arena.
we won't have to spend all our money to try to book something when the Suns don't make it. This time we'll just get on our cheap flights, get on a fucking plane, go over and sleep on someone's floor.
You know what? Fuck that. That trip we went over when they didn't make it because we already booked it. We got to meet the WNBA, the Mercury players. Skylar, Sophie, and that was fun. That was fun.
It was fun.
I'm
not going to complain about that
WNBA game. So
yeah, I'm not going to complain about that trip. It was awesome. Nah. Anyway, enough about us. Today's game.
Sure.
Against the Nuggets, a pretty big loss, pretty disappointing performance from the boys. Obviously, going up to Denver, playing in the altitude, it was a tough loss today. Really, really tough loss. What were your thoughts on the game?
Off the back of that, there's two things I want to lead with. I don't know what. I'll go with the shitting on you first because that's always fun.
Shitting on me?
You were saying that you wanted Denver because we'd walk through them. Do you now concede that's going to? You said this for the end of the regular season going into it. You thought that Denver were overinflated, that we could walk through them. So, do you concede? Do you concede now that it's going to be a test?
No,
I'm not saying. I'm not saying I'm just saying a test.
Look, it was always going to be a test. Yes, I concede it's absolutely going to be a test, particularly in Denver. I think that's going to be the. I really just want us to, if we can walk out of Denver with one of the first two games, I'd be really, really pleased. Okay, we didn't get game one, but now the focus shifts to game two with a bit of a break afterwards. And let's be honest, our second quarter was putrid. After that, we couldn't manage to get back-to-back stops or consistent stops. We may have got one here or one there. And when we did get a back-to-back stop, we'd miss a big opportunity at a bucket to close the gap. I think we got within 9 at one stage there in the last quarter, and I was pumped. And then Aaron Gordon scored like back-to-back points, and then
there was a 2-minute window in the middle of the
Jamal Murray hit like 2 threes. And so, look, let's hope that we don't see that in game two. But it's a 7-game series, right? We dropped our first game in disappointing fashion. Again, I kind of think Ayton played pretty well for a lot of it until he sort of got.
He's rebounding, man. His rebounding was shit.
Yeah, but the entire team's rebounding was shit. Let's be honest.
Not to talk stats because another pod already did that. So
yeah, disappointing loss though today. And but yes, to answer your question, because it's your leader, yes, I concede that we're not going to sweep them, and I'm not going to say that those other 3 words.
Well, while we're talking about that, I've got a comment written down here. There was Mike Malone came on in relation to the Joker, saying that we needed to survive the minutes Nikola was on the bench. So they were literally relying on Jokic, and
they did that. They did that in the mini series too. But they just want to focus.
Really pushed them. I was really hopeful about this game because of sort of how much Denver struggled against a fucking play-in team.
Well, that's they really focus on those minutes that Jokic isn't on. The Jokic. I fucking had this shit last year too. It was they're the minutes we have to capitalize on, and we just didn't do it. I mean, we were up 4 when Jokic, whatever his fucking name is, went out. And when he came back in, we were 8 points down. Like, we just played such shit minutes while he wasn't on the floor, and we can't afford to do that.
Well, I had plenty of other points. I just don't know which one to pick to shit on you first with, because I told you it was going to be a lot of shitting on you.
Let's just go. Just shit on me. Let's go.
Well, let's just go with the whole start of the game, right? There was 2 points that stood out to me straight away, which was the first one was for the Josh Okogie Appreciation Society. You got your starter back.
Yeah, I did. I was pretty pleased at the start of the game.
You can't see I got 2 middle fingers up. And even on the jam session, one part when I chimed in, they were talking about Okogie versus TC. They're talking about why mix it up, switch in, whatever. I mean, I wasn't disappointed to see Okogie starting in a different situation, so that all the scouting reports couldn't quite be as accurate for the Nuggets. But I had to chuckle when he started just for you, just how much you fucking love him. And then I cried a little bit because TC coming off the bench wasn't as effective as he was starting in the first series.
And it's been like that for the whole season, to be honest. TC just has not been as effective coming off the bench as he has starting. I love that we brought Okogie in because it meant we could play Okogie on Jamal Murray, which took that pressure off Book, took the pressure off Chris Paul. My problem is that if Okogie's going to start and his job is going to be to try and quell what Jamal Murray can do,
and not threes down,
he's got to fight through screens. Like we play for the first quarter, we played switch defense and just allowed Jamal Murray to do whatever he wanted. Second half, we did the same thing. If Okogie's in there to play on Jamal Murray, he has to play on Jamal Murray. He just has to be the primary matchup for 80% of those minutes. Now, I am the president of the self-proclaimed president of the Josh Okogie Appreciation Society. I love the guy. With Okogie on the floor, starting with Book and CP in this series, we're too small. TC has to start.
Oh, shit. Did I just fucking hear that?
We got exposed early due to the Aaron Gordon MPJ thing when they were bashing the ball inside. Then it left Jamal Murray out in the three-point line open. KCP as well. We're just too small. We're too small. We've got to start with Torrey Craig and bring Okogie in off the back of. To be honest, I'd bring Okogie in. Oh, and here we go. We're going to talk about it because we have to. Let's bring Okogie on as that first sub. If you're not going to play campaign, let's bring Okogie on as that first sub to replace Chris Paul.
To get through. Fuck.
Well,
so for everyone that didn't listen to the last pod, you need to go back and listen to it because right now what's happening is Gav is sucking eggs. It's a very Australian term, and he's sucking a whole 6-pack of eggs right now. They're not boiled; they're fucking raw. The shell's on. They're all liquid and fertility yolk inside. He's swallowing it down. And he's got a nice little look of "I was wrong" on his face.
I'm not wrong. Let's just go back here, right? One step. Let's go back one step here. Let's go back one step here. It's not wrong. That was an opinion on whether or not Josh Okogie should have started the last series. And I still think that after Kawhi Leonard went out, Josh Okogie should have been starting ahead of Torrey Craig. Matchup-wise, this Denver Nuggets lineup, the starting lineup, Torrey Craig is a better fit than what Josh Okogie is. If we played the Golden State Warriors in the next round and they stick to their starting lineup of Curry, Poole, and Thompson, I'll be straight back on here going, Okogie's the one that needs to start.
Oh, fuck, but we're getting way too far ahead. I've got campaign stuff I want to talk about.
We'll get to campaign. We'll get to that.
Durant stuff I want to talk about. But the second point that I let off with,
we're talking about Okogie and Craig right now. We've got plenty to talk about the game as a whole. But right now, we're talking about Torrey Craig versus Josh Okogie. Now, again, I still think in that Clippers series, we should have started Okogie after Kawhi went down. But now that we're into this series against the Nuggets and the starting lineup is Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Jokic, fucking whatever his name is, KCP, and Jamal Murray.
Oh, fuck KCP. A friend of mine also was talking about this game yesterday, and he's like analyzing everything. He's like, oh, fucking KCP can get some buckets. I'm like, oh, fuck that guy. Fuck.
I agree, fuck that guy. But reality is that with MPJ, Aaron Gordon, and Jokic as their front court, TC should be starting.
Oh, I'm not going to argue
against that front court.
I love TC. So
yeah. All right, what's the next thing you're going to hang shit on me about?
Well, this isn't a shit hang, but it was the first quarter of this series. It looked like a KD activation game. So in the last pod, I was talking about KD still looks like he's at about 60, 75%. He's not fully turned on. He's not fully doing everything that KD does.
He's not fully what? Sorry?
Turned on.
Right.
He's got a Tinder burner account, didn't you know?
Interesting.
Anyway, he's not been swiping while he's in Denver, that's for sure. So I think what I saw was they made a point of activating KD instead of your scouting report says Booker's going to come in and do 40. He damn near almost did anyway, but it was about turning KD on from what I was watching on the court.
What?
And
you're getting overtly sexual in this.
Well, I mean,
now we're going to turn KD
on. I think it was just good because I was chatting to my mate yesterday. And he's not a Phoenix fan as such. He does like teams that are winning, so he's paying a lot of attention to Phoenix this season. But he was saying that, how many conversations have I had with him about this? He was talking to me saying Phoenix is going to lose this game against the Clippers because of Shamet. And I said, you have little faith. And then they subbed Shamet out. Okogie came in and we won. So I rubbed that in his face to start with. I fucking lost track where I was going with this. I got 7 points written down in front of me. Let's just steamroll over to Shamit.
Okay, let's talk about this. Now,
you know, I just made that comment about as soon as he subbed out, Kogi comes in and we won. Let's talk about Shamit and the ridiculousness that is the fact he gets minutes.
Yeah, let's talk about this. I'm just go straight in.
That's what she said.
You know me. I'm genuine. Oh my goodness, where are we going here? I'm genuinely positive about the Phoenix Suns and most of the Phoenix Suns players and everything else. And I honestly believe that we're structuring up whenever someone gets minutes or whatever the case is, that there's thought behind it, because there has to be, right? It's this is a world-class sport and we've got world-class coaches, and there's got to be a reason that we make decisions that we do. And I will try to find.
Not that we understand any of those that Monty makes, but
we may not at times. But I will sit there and try to dig out what the reasoning is. Even I can't find a fucking reason that Landry Shamet is coming off the bench first and he's getting any minutes whatsoever in this team. I seen a comment from Jalen Rose about him defending Michael Porter Jr. And basically the comment was...
Is that what they call it, defending?
His comment was, basically at the moment, Michael Porter Jr. is shooting over a chair. And that's the thing, like Shamet's defense is
it's a
solid.
step up from a traffic cone, bro.
Maybe solid, a little bit solid. But defensively, he's going to get picked apart in this series. As we saw, Jamal Murray picked him apart. MPJ picked him apart. That was pretty much the only places he even tried to play defense. And on offense, he gives us fucking nothing. Absolutely zero.
I remember when we first signed him, Vossi from our crew. Vossi was, why? That's a fucking mistake. That's a fucking mistake. I'm not on board. And I was all like, hey, I like the upside of if he finds a situation, like we just spoke about Westbrook with the Clippers, he finally found a situation that unlocks him. Landry's bounced around and he had the skill that just needed to be unlocked. And I just think it's really unfortunate it hasn't happened here.
And, well, it's not even close to have happened here. And that's the biggest problem at the moment. And I was willing to give him a grace and say, well, eventually this guy's going to – he'll be that guy, especially now that KD and Book are there. CP's there, Aiton's there. There's a gravity pull to these guys defensively. He's going to have open shots. He's going to have opportunities. But he can't hit a fucking shot. He doesn't hit enough threes, and particularly when we need him to hit a three. Generally, when he does come out and he hits his threes, it's when the game's fucking dead.
And his drives are gone shit. Every time he drives now, he gets stifled on the D. He's not actually finishing.
He used to be able to dunk. He used to be able to dunk on people and shit. Like there is nothing positive about what he is offering us at the moment. And again, I'm a positive type of guy, but I just can't find any reason that this guy's getting any minutes at the moment. He's a chair on defense. So is Terrence Ross. But we know Terrence Ross is a fucking flamethrower. So if we're going to play a chair on defense, play the guy who can actually hit some shots.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Hey, since we said from the get-go that this pod was going to be all over the fucking shop, before when I lost my train of thought, I actually remember what I was going to say, because we were talking about KD in the first series not looking at full potential. Like he's easing into it and he's just going to unlock it when it matters towards the end. My mate that I was talking to, he was just like, really? Is that what you think? So this is not full KD, you don't think? I'm like, no, it's definitely not full KD. And that's why I was talking about the first quarter when I said that it looked like it was positioned to unlock him for this series in that first quarter. And look, the rest of the game spoke numbers as well. I mean, he did have a fantastic game. I would say he was more involved than any other game, even though we saw some fantastic games of the Clippers series. This one was definitely more KD. Yeah,
well, he had 29 points, 63% from the field, 33% from three, but he only took 3 threes, 14 rebounds. 3 blocks. He played a pretty good game, let's be honest, overall.
So let's mix things up then, Gav, because I know that we don't really have an agenda and you wanted to get to certain players and conversations. So just instead of just talking through all the players, we were having a chat about putting a new segment in at some point, unconsulted to the other people in this pod. Sorry, it's going to happen anyway. So we were going to call it Shit the Bed or words to that effect, where we go over Twitter we take the most ridiculous fucking Shit the Bed Twitter comments and talk about them. Now,
yeah.
We're not going to launch that this episode, but...
No, it will be launched next episode, so there's a bit of a spoiler for you guys.
I had a shit the bed moment, and I actually caught myself in the third quarter screaming at my TV. Fucking hell! Like, it was literally out loud. I'm going to make a note of that. In the third quarter, I was fucking irate. I didn't go to Twitter. I didn't even put it in the fucking Aussie Suns Fans. See how Australians can say that in one sentence. Aussie Suns Fans fan group. I didn't. I just kept it myself for this shit.
And what were you screaming at?
The fucking hell! Everything with the turnovers, the fucking 3 chances to get a fucking rebound, the tippy that DeAndre keeps fucking doing. Just like, oh my god. Everything. There was like 2 minutes of play that was just. I just wanted to throw something at the fucking TV, but I'm like, oh no, I like my TV.
There was quite a number of 3-minute plays that were not fantastic today. Hey, at least today we got to see this guy.
That's a knife. Crocodile Dundee.
Jock came in and played some minutes today. My question to you is, after watching the game today, is he a better option as the first one off the bench to back up DA than Busy in this matchup against the Nuggets?
You know I love this guy, but my answer is no. Watching Busy in his first couple of minutes against the Joker, all the effort was there. The strength of the body was there. The irritation. I think he did a brilliant job. Granted, when Jock came in, he did things different. And he played brilliantly, but differently. I think the answer is more about leveling out the minutes rather than picking which one of them comes in. I still think Busy's the first one off the bench, purely from a defensive point of view and a big body on Joker, just a fucking irritant that can always get the boards, get blocks, be irritant. But he's an offensive weakness, and he missed some fucking bunnies around the rim today. But I just think there could be a minutes balance. If you're going to bring Jock in anyway, just shift the minutes balance around rather than picking the first or second one off the bench.
I was pretty concerned about Busy's performance today, to be honest. The bunnies around the rim that he missed were pretty disappointing. Defensively, he's just
good thing he had a cleanup crew.
He's drawn to fouling Jokic. We saw that after really early in the game when Durant blocked Jokic and went back to him, and Busy basically steamrolled the bloke while he was shooting the next shot.
No. That's no different to fucking Giannis in the finals that we failed to finish. Yeah, we needed somebody else to go in there and just take the fouls from Giannis. This series,
yeah, but you can't be giving up. He can't be going in there and giving up M1s to Jokic all the time.
Not M1s. If they're going to be fouls, they're going to be proper fouls. Which I think he's the best body to deliver, to be honest, because
no doubt
he's going to give the most damage.
And if he's, but that's the thing. If you're going to foul him properly, right? I mean, in a game that didn't go out late today,
here. We're not being dirty here. We're just saying, fuck absolutely, a physical game. Play fucking physical. Playoffs.
We need some more physicality there. The only bloke who gave up a really physical foul was Chris Paul on a Jamal Murray sort of half fast break where Chris Paul came across and nearly hip and shouldered him out of court.
That was. I'm glad that came back a common foul too, because there was enough action that he was going for the ball, even though you saw it in his eyes. Like, nah, fuck this guy.
It was a deliberate foul, but he was going for the ball. Like, I got no problem with that, but we just need more physicality on the defensive end, and we're not dishing that up. And the whole thing was, and I don't know whether anyone else saw it, because we don't see enough extended periods of it. But our actual best defender on Jamal Murray today was Chris Paul in the times that he did it, because he extended the defense, he pushed out beyond the three-point line and made the guy dribble around and pass the ball up. And we don't do that enough. The old half-assed hand up in the air while someone's shooting a three over your head, we do that far too much. Now, I get that we're trying to avoid that whole landing under their feet, giving away an extra shot or a potential flagrant. But when a side is shooting like Denver were today, how do we put this in an Australian way? Belt someone.
That's about right. That's about Australian as you get.
Just give away a fucking foul or two.
What do you think about the threes, though? Because without going to the stats too much, let's just say we shot 30% for the game. They shot 45%. They shot 10 more threes than us. Well, they made. That's 10
my problem.
But at the post-game interview with Ernie, Kenny, Shaq, and Charles actually said that's not their game. They're not a three-point shooting team.
No, I get that, but
I disagree. We have full capability of being that team.
Absolutely, we do. And look, again, I think this is going to go back 2 seasons on our pod right here. Devin Booker is one of the most purest shooters that any of us have ever seen. Why the fuck doesn't that guy shoot more threes?
His own dad told him that at the end of the Clippers series. He said that his own dad told him at the end of the Clippers series, shoot more.
Devin Booker had 1 3-point attempt today. 1. Dude, you've got to be shooting between 8 and 10 threes a game.
I mean, even I put him in my multi for 2+, being a skeptic. But fuck.
Chris Paul had our most 3-point attempts today at 5. Kevin Durant only had 3.
We only made 6. Out of 20, we only made 6.
7 we made. 7 from 23.
So I'm calling this at the 5-minute mark remaining in the game.
Yeah.
So
we had 7 from 23. They had 6. They had 16 from 37. So this is clearly an issue, right? And we have to work harder to make sure that we're getting these guys these open shots. And against the Clippers, we were doing it. But in this series, we're just not doing it. And again, Devin Booker, a pure shooter, having 1 3-point attempt for a fucking playoff game, it's just not good enough. I mean, he had 19 field goal attempts for the game, and only one of them was a 3-point. And absolutely agree here with Cody Kidd.
Cody Kidd.
This is a dude. True. This is a dude that is a 3-point champion and fucking drained 3 after 3. And we've seen videos of training and stuff like that where he hits 19, 20 threes in a row. And he's had 1 3-point attempt for the day. Book, we love you in Phoenix, but for fuck's sake.
But for fuck's sake. Hey, for all the statistical nitpickers that might watch this and go, oh, Nate doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, there is some truth to that. But for any statistics I'm quoting for this game, I took a snapshot of the game stats at, what was it, I think 5 and a bit minutes left, because let's be honest, with 5 minutes remaining, we all knew it was done. And then 30 seconds, 1 minute later, Monty pulled. He waved the white flag and pulled. So I grabbed a snapshot of the stats at that point. So I'm not talking about fucking garbage time bit. I'm talking about the business stats.
Yeah.
So,
which wasn't good enough, right? And that's the whole thing. There's plenty of opportunities out there to take wide open threes in the way that the game's played these days. Coming off a screen, 2-step clearance, hit the 3. Kevin Durant can do it. Chris Paul can do it. Devin Booker can do it. Landry Shamet, when you're on the fucking floor, that's what you're supposed to do. Torrey Craig, you've done it all year. Torrey Craig had 2 3-point attempts today and was 50%, 1 from 2. Guys, we have to take the opportunities when they're there. And the Suns at the moment just are. We just played a playoff game where we had 84 field goal attempts to 101. You're just not going to win games like that. 16 for 37 were the Nuggets. 7 for 23 we were. Like that number has to be above 30. And if it's above 30, we're hitting 12 to 14 or whatever, because Book and KD are shooting, 40 to 45% from three. We have to manufacture those shots more.
Can we segue into something like completely off topic? But you kind of mentioned it right at the start about the altitude.
We've already spoken about the fact that this is going to be fucking wherever we want it to go. So you want to segue? Right. Let's fucking segue.
Let's have a medical moment with Nate. So really? For those that don't know, I actually work in medical, and specifically in an area called advanced hemodynamics. Google that shit, figure it out.
No one's Googling that. No one can even spell that.
So let's just bring up why exactly altitude makes a difference. And granted, most of our team, especially the pros, they shouldn't figure it out by now, but the altitude affects an athlete's performance because the teams who practice at sea level tire 20% faster because there's 10% and transport 10% less oxygen around their bodies when they compete in Denver. So in the area of what I do, it's called oxygen debt or metabolic consumption. So you've got a certain amount of oxygen-rich blood that gets transported around your body, and you're used to it. You've got a standard range. When you go to Denver, that range changes. So technically, you're transferring less oxygen-rich blood around your body if you're not training in that area. So therefore, fatigue does set in quicker. Everything kind of changes. Your breathing changes. So there is a legitimate argument to the benefit of home games in Denver. Now, Monty flew the team out. He obviously, the staff know this shit. They flew out early. I think it was Thursday they flew into Denver and trained in Denver up till what is now their Saturday game. That's still not enough time to train to recondition a body to the effects of the altitude. So for anyone that flags off that that's not a real fucking benefit, home court benefit for Denver, well, they honestly don't know what they're fucking talking about. Because
there's enough talk about
part of what worried me going into this series,
and there's enough talk about that from people who actually fucking know to say that it absolutely does impact teams that go into Denver playing at high altitude. Mm-hmm. I've got no doubt that there's every chance that it did impact our team, but it shouldn't have impacted them in the second fucking quarter. Fair enough if it happened at the end of the game, but I also think that game one, having played this game today, this game one, and we'll have training obviously or shoot-arounds or whatever it is over the next couple of days, it's going to benefit us going into game two, right?
Yeah, well, what does every fucking visiting coach in a playoff series say? We just need to take one on the road. Every fucking series where you interview the losing coach of game one or the winning coach of game one, they say the same shit. Our goal is to take one on the road.
Well, that for us, we have to take one on the road to win the series.
Fucking oath we do.
So, fact of the matter is, hopefully today helps us prepare for a much better performance in game two. And hopefully someone belts someone.
Hopefully Shamit belts someone so that he'll lose. No, but if he does, he'll lose. But at least he's off then. He'll get ejected. He'll be suspended. He'll be he won't be on the team, so he's not going to get any fucking minutes.
All right, how do you let's talk. We've got what do we play Tuesday our time?
Are we finished? Are we finished talking about this game?
No. I thought you had more. I didn't know if you had more. Keep going.
I mean, I've got a comment here about loving the fight in Jock on Joker. I just like the two names in the same sentence.
Well, we did.
We haven't spoke much about campaign. I mean, he's back, but he was only activated in garbage time. So
how do you speak about campaign? He basically didn't fucking play. So
that's the point, though. He was ready to play. They played him in garbage. He was suited up and he played in garbage. So what?
Landry Shamit had to play so that Monty could show him off to his daughters.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Do not marry Monty's daughters. Fucking don't. We don't need him on this team any longer than we fucking have to. Fuck. Let him go.
Let's bring back Abdul Nader too, and we can have them both on the floor at the same time.
Fuck me. Now, every episode, I find a moment that I can mention the word daisy chain, and I think that's it.
So honestly, I don't know. The big thing for me was one of the things we needed today in today's game was energy. Now, no matter what anyone thinks about Cameron Payne plays with energy. He's the guy that has to come off. Honestly, as I said, I'd move Torrey Craig back into the starting lineup and I'd bring Okogie on to replace Chris Paul early and run with Point Book and Point Durant in the first quarter. But my next sub would be Cameron Payne coming in. And that might be that he's at the start of the second quarter when we finally rest Book and it's Cam Payne and Chris Paul on the floor. But we just needed someone with a bit of energy out there that could spark some shit up because that was as flat as I've seen that Suns team since Kevin Durant's come back or joined the team.
All right. Well, before we get off this game, I'll ask you a question because we had no fucking agenda. Are we doing beer and flog?
Yes.
All right. I'll hold that comment and I'll work on my flog.
That's standard for every show.
Well, it's very standard for me to always work on my flog. So,
Well, that's
practice
true.
Makes perfect. Practice makes perfect.
That's true. I'm pretty sure you were talking about potentially doing a live episode based just around that.
Well, I did. Fuck it. You went there. Fuck it. I did give my flog of the week last week to Hammo because he floated the idea of having his own pod because he wanted to change things up a little bit. I'm like, okay, so you're my flog, my full flog, I think I called it. I did message Hammo. Much love, brother. I know. Look, the point of this whole thing is that we shit on each other, so I wasn't going to miss an opportunity to shit on you.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pull back on that. I think that I hang too much shit on you guys apparently, so I might have to.
I'm actually surprised how much you don't hang shit on me. I mean, I give you guys so much ammunition to fucking dump on my head, and you just don't take it. Like this, for example, I fed the Josh Okogie Appreciation Society a stat today. I finally reached 1,000 likes on Tinder, but that's more likes than I've got on any of my other social media applications combined.
And to be honest, I've got to. I might have to try and get someone to track down your Tinder profile just so I could see the photos because I don't know how any person would like you on Tinder. That's a fucking disgrace. Two more games before.
You forget I'm in Asia, though.
That's true.
This shit's actually appealing to people over here.
Two more games before we pot again next week. We've obviously got Tuesday our time against Denver in Denver, and then I think our next game might even be Saturday. No. There's like a 3-day gap after that. So our next game's actually like Saturday, our time here in Australia, for Game 3 in Phoenix. So 2 games. What are we going to do? Are we going to take Game 2? Do you think we're in a chance?
Oh, well, fuck, he's not here, so someone's got to represent. I'm going full Boyd. We came out. We got our learning curve. We got our little lesson. We felt it out. We felt out the like I talked about the altitude, the competition, the way they were going to play their game, the way they said that we're just going to do what we can to survive when Joker's on the bench, and the fact that Murray's actually coming out and feeling like a massive cock swinging legend, and he said he's better than Bubble fucking Murray again. His comments, it's just current Murray. That was what he said. I think we've got all the information we need now to respond. We've got the talent to respond. We've certainly got the determination. Then the fact that I saw something, it was on fucking, I don't know which social media stream it was. It certainly wasn't Twitter. I didn't definitively did not open Twitter today. There was a comment about someone that saw Booker laughing on the bench when we were down 22 points in the fourth. Now, speak of that what you might, but there's no fucking way Booker goes home down 22 points in a game and laughs about it at home. He's coming out with a vengeance.
Yeah.
So I'm going full Boyd on this and thinking we take the next one and then we take the first one at home and we take control of the series before we pod next.
I'm kind of with you. I really do think that Game 2, and I'm going to make a big call here. For those of you out there with betting accounts and all that sort of shit, Kevin Durant, plus 40. Devin Booker, plus 30. DA, plus 10 rebounds. Chris Paul, plus 9.5 assists. There's your multi for game 2. And I think
would have paid off in game 1, that's for sure.
I think we win it by 10 plus.
I put my multi on, and I was my multis, they're not too extravagant. My odds never go about 8-1 because I like to win. Fuck it, I like to win. And my multi came back, and the only fucking stat that I got was Booker over 20. Every other fucking thing lost.
It was horrible.
Good thing I only bet with bonus cash. Thank you.
So one more comment that I have on this game leading into game 2 is I know that everybody loves the fact that we're running Chris Paul off the ball. There's a lot of people that love it. When we're struggling, put the fucking ball back in Chris Paul's hands. If we want to facilitate an offense, the best player to facilitate that offense is Chris Paul. Put the ball in his hands, put him back at the point, let him do his point guard shit, because in the third quarter, maybe early in the fourth, he started to really ramp up.
I've got it down here. One of my talking points was CP3 showing us some Q4 action in Q3.
Had steals, was hitting the mid-range shot, but then we took him off the ball again. When we're struggling, put Chris Paul back on the ball. Don't be afraid to make the adjustments and let the dude who cooks as the point guard cook as the point guard. And let's run our offense through Chris Paul until we take control of the game. Couple of stops, bit of momentum. This series is going to be about momentum runs. And that was our problem today. Denver got momentum runs. We could not. We just did not have any momentum runs at all.
We couldn't stop theirs either.
That's the thing. We just had no momentum runs today. And this series, it's going to be important to have momentum runs. So the dude who can facilitate that is Chris Paul.
You remember back a few seasons now when the Orlando Magic were floating Aaron Gordon out there, and we were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, let's fucking get this guy. Power forward for the Suns. Fuck yes. And he ended up in Denver. He has done better in Denver. He resurrected his career in Denver. And this season and this particular game, did you not sit there and go, fuck, wish he was on our team?
I didn't, only because of his shit haircut. That's all I could look at. I just kept looking at his head and going, what the fuck have you done to your head? Like, do you remember when you were in Kyrie Irving's movie and you look like an actual baller? Now you look like a worm.
I can't argue with that. That's a true statement. The truth.
So we both of us are going 2-0. We're going to take this next one in Denver, win the first one at home, and then we will talk about the rest of the series after that.
And then
just
shit
before
on all the naysayers.
And shit on all the naysayers. And we will at that stage launch our new segment. So all of our followers on Twitter, please make sure you keep giving us that content that I'm going to snip and I'm going to put on this fucking podcast so that we can just abuse the fuck out of you.
And please, also, while you're talking to your Twitter followers, please bring back the segment we always wanted. Who blocked Boyd? Because I really wanted that one to float, because I was having a lot of fun doing in our chat for 2 weeks on how many motherfuckers just got sick of his shit and blocked him. I'll
tell you what, because
I really wanted it to be a thing again.
Because he had a big night, and he was too fucking drunk to come on today, and I'm really hoping he sneaks in later on as a fucking disgrace. But anyway,
just throw him an eggplant emoji and see if he comes along.
I just want to bring up that there is a fucking Boyd burner account out there, and that is just about to get blocked by me. I fucking had it with him. I've had it with him. He's a fucking piece of shit. I know it's you, Boyd. I know it's your burner. Just stop.
And that's what we do. We just shit on each other. This is so good. I'm glad Boyd took it to another level and fucking went at you like KD. That's good. Now you're on the fucking defense, Mr. Okogie.
the other playoff series in the West, in particular, we've got the Warriors and Sacramento going to Game 7. Light the beam.
I love that they're beating the fuck out of each other. They're just they're literally hurting each other into the second round. I'm like, good, keep doing it.
Yeah, well, the Kevon Looney fucking elbow on Sabonis was a beauty. But
it was a basketball play, but fuck, the outcome was like, I'm like, oh, you're a pussy, get up. Then I saw the blood and the bruising. I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough.
The winner of that plays the Lakers. Who do you want to play the Lakers?
Oh, fuck, we did this last week. I was like, fuck. So let me start that answer by the post-game again, Barkley, Kenny, Ernie, Shaq. Barkley was having it off with Kenny about the Kings over the Warriors, and he said, you write it down. He said, mate, get Kenny to write it, get his little fucking 3M post-it note out and write this down. He said, the Kings are going to the Western Conference Finals. And he said they've got it over the Warriors, and he didn't even talk about the Lakers. But the one moment that he glossed over the Lakers, you just saw Shaq. But he has the Kings going all the way through. I kind of hope they do.
Do either of those teams? For me, I think that whoever wins the Warriors Kings matchup beats the Lakers.
Well, they should.
I mean, the Lakers beat up on Ja Morant, who is just a younger version of Russell Westbrook because he can't shoot a three and can't shoot a jump shot. And Dylan Brooks, who looks like a fucking worm. And then they're only fucking decent.
Who is an unrestricted free agent now and skipped on the press conference.
Well, we'll get to that.
All right.
He looks like a worm and should be playing in fucking Taiwan with Dwight Howard.
I love that message. I love that message when you sent that out.
Honestly, I do think that whoever comes out of this series, out of the Warriors and Sacramento, beats LA.
And there are so many fucking people out there that are all fucking LeBron lovers, and they all think the Lakers are the fucking shit because they strung it together at the 11th hour. They literally pulled this shit together at the play-in tournament, got through the first round. Granted, that last game, that was a domination of the Grizz. It really was.
Yeah, that's the Grizz.
That's not. Lakers don't do consistent this season. Nothing they've done is consistent. They made all those changes late in the season. They've got a new team. Yes, it hit in that series, but fuck, I just don't know. I'm kind of with you, mate. I think whoever wins the Warriors sack gets through. And the fact that De'Aaron Fox has got like a fucking semi-fractured broken finger or whatever the hell, DeBonis can only see out of one eye at the moment. I think the inexperience there is the friend we want come Western Conference Finals. So if you get the Warriors, I
still think we're seeing the Warriors, right?
Going on, if you get the Warriors, though, it doesn't matter what's going on in the team. They've been there before, and they're comfortable in that scenario. Sac's never been there, and they're a little bit banged up. I don't care how fast they are, how good they are. I think by the time the conference finals comes around, that's who we want.
Yeah. Oh, look, absolutely. If we're going to get a path out of the three sides that are left, we want it to be Sacramento. Although I'd really love to beat the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. That'd be fucking magnificent.
Look, if we want to go home after the pod or after a game and just sit on our bed and have privacy and masturbate, yeah, it's going to be the Lakers or the Warriors. Yeah. But because no one's ever walked home and gone, fuck yeah, I beat the Kings. No. But we just want a trip to the finals. And Milwaukee's
absolutely
gone.
Milwaukee's fucking gone. The East is open, right? So
it is open like a gay lang hooker in Singapore. There's a fucking reference for you.
Hey, Nate.
Hey, would kill everyone in this room for a drop of sweet beer.
So, Homer, please feel free to tell us anything.
Who do you want to
Yes.
have a beer with?
Fucking oath. I have a very specific, deliberate, absolute answer to this. Mr. Orange.
Okay.
Pause. Let it sink in. This guy. Did you see the game today? Where they had the what was it?
No,
what
I did.
did they call it? The lookalike cam. And they had Mr. Orange front and center, and they ran through a troll doll, and they ran through all these stupid fucking things that were orange. And he sit there, he took it like a fucking champ. He's like, no, I'm not going to get upset. I'm representing. He must have the thickest skin on him to rock up to all these other venues, to all these other cities. He can't even just like, I'm just wearing a Phoenix jersey. This motherfucker is orange. He is so undoubtedly Phoenix. And he goes everywhere. And he's just, I don't give a fuck. And then when they put him on a fucking cam with the big Jumbotron, and it's like, look alike, let's take the piss out of this guy in front of 19,000 people. He's like, fuck you, I'm here. And he's like, yep, I don't care. I'm representing. I love that guy. I fucking so much respect for him. That's my beer of the week candidate.
I like that. That's very good. Mine is Matt Ishbia. Matt, well done. Well done. You're taking basketball back to the fucking fan base.
Free to air.
Free to air basketball. People in Phoenix, low socioeconomic, it does not matter. You are the only thing you're doing with that is expanding the Suns fan base, particularly amongst young kids, everything else that don't get to watch the Suns. Now they're going to get the opportunity to watch every game.
That's a state move. That's a message to Arizona.
Absolutely. It's an absolute state move. Arizona now gets to watch basketball for free. All you need to do now is charge a very low price for a direct streaming service where everybody else in the world can get it as well. Please. For us. Please. Matt, please. Because if I have to listen to the TNT crew commentate a fucking game in Denver again, I'm going to fucking string something up. Let's put, fucking Kevin Ray and Jump Shot back on the fucking air.
Okay, so you've got a really good microphone, Gav. You really don't need to do that. You can sit back in your little green screen there and you can yell from a distance. I'm learning this myself because I tend to lean in as well. And we got to stop doing that for the listeners.
Possibly. I apologize to the listeners. But fucking hell, that annoyed the shit out of me today. Bianca Buono, she interviewed me in Channel 12. Fantastic, Matt Ishbia. Really good to see that he did not even give a fuck about the money. He just
while you're on Matt, let's go another further. Why you want to have a fucking beer with a guy? G League team. What was his?
I believe
that him?
I believe that's next.
Him or the NBA?
That's next.
But was that him or the NBA?
He said he wants to bring a G League team.
He wants his own G League feeder team back. Are they going to stick it all the way up in the north again?
Fuck knows where he'll put it, but as long as we have an as long as we have a G League team.
I love how fucking male you are. You just can't do two things at once. You're like, I
had to read this.
You're in the middle of a live fucking broadcast. You stop to read the
absolute dog.
Dead air go across.
Matt's an absolute dog. So, Hugo, I know that you're from America, so I'm not sure. Can you clarify this in the chat?
I think it's a good thing.
It sounds like it's a good thing. So in Australia, Matt, an absolute dog means a bad thing.
Yeah, we'd call him a cunt in a bad way.
No, but a cunt is a good thing over here. Like it's a term
we understand the context.
But in Australia, if you call someone a dog, it's really bad, right?
Never good. It's never good.
Never good.
He did follow it up with he is instant royalty, so you know.
And that's what I was trying to work out. I was reading the whole thing and going, oh, right, okay. I get it. No, No, well done, Matt HB.
Look, I mean, I got to say, I was one of the few that were hanging on to the Sava love till the end. I just wanted to think he had a bigger plan. I wanted to respect everything about running a business and running a hard line. And you know what? I laughed at not all, but a lot of the things that got brought up that said he was chauvinistic and misogynistic and all the rest of it. Like sitting on a plane with all his jewelry with no shirt on with the team. I'm sitting there laughing. God, this guy's great. The fact that he laughed about the fact that there were goats in Ryan's office. I thought that half of this shit I thought was fucking hilarious. And I understand it upsets a lot of people, and that's fine. That's your right to have your own opinion. This is an opinion show. I've got mine. But everything that Matt Ishby has done since he's been here, everything he's released in audio, on the media, everything you see, everything is just like, fuck yeah, this guy is fucking good.
He's next level, right? He's.
I'm so glad we didn't get that Disney motherfucker that wanted to buy the team, because that would have just put us in this politically correct little fucking window. And then I think Matt Ishbia he's in his own little world where he can do what he wants, and he's doing it the right way. And everyone is
the thing for me was his initial press conference. He said, "I want to bring basketball to the people of Phoenix. This is going to be about the people." And what's he done? Like the biggest announcement he made in the last week was about absolutely bringing basketball back to the people of Phoenix, the people of Arizona.
He's done everything every politician ever did.
Like, it's going to be free for the people of Arizona to watch Phoenix Suns and Phoenix Mercury basketball. It's sensational. I love it. That's unbelievable.
Look, regardless of your political view, what country you're in, Australian politics runs one way, American politics runs another way, overseas it runs another way. He has literally done what every politician has never delivered on.
He delivered on what he said.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
He might end up the mayor of Phoenix. Be careful.
He may do, except that he lives in Chicago.
There's
time for the plug of the week, and trust me, they are ugly, very unattractive. Google their face when you're done here.
Who's your plug of the week, mate?
Well, let me preface this by saying this is going to make me your flog of the week.
Ooh. You'd have to go big, because my flog of the week is pretty much a lock.
Well, you are very big on repeating flogs and beers of the week from week to week.
I am not, you fucking lying piece of shit.
You do. Yeah, we all shit on each other for saying the same thing week after week, but I don't have a specific flog this week. But I did jump in our chat today and put some shit on our dear friend Hammo. So I just want to back it up by going, Hammo, you're still my flog. Because Gav was almost like not going to do this pod because of fucking kids football. I don't have kids, so I don't understand how important it is. But I went to Hammo. I'm like, hey, fuck, you've got a new pod. You're doing your own thing now. Can I be a guest on your pod? He's like, oh, no, I'm not doing it this week. I'm like, So, in absence of any better answer, Hammo is still my flog. I still love you, but you're still my flog.
There is so many flogs this week. Now, you know I love you, right? But there was so many fucking flogs this week that you could have gone with, and that's the best thing you can come up with.
Well, yeah.
You leave fucking Hammo alone. You're an idiot.
Thank you for finally fucking putting the on me.
And now, because you're fucking useless, I'm going to go with 2 flogs. Just so that we can get some fucking proper content.
Tell me how many times you come.
Number 1 flog. Shh. Here we go. Shh. Let's bring it down. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Is that the Greek spelling or the local spelling?
Giannis, seriously. Your fucking carry on in your after game, whatever the fuck that was, where the journalist said, do you now consider this year a failure? No, what? Because you didn't get a pay rise, you're a failure, and all that fucking rant he did to the journalist. Giannis, you get paid fucking $30 million a year to play basketball. Your goal is to win a fucking title. You were the number 1 seed and you got rolled by the 8th seed and you choked like a bitch. 10 from 23 from the free throw line. You were at one stage 1 from 9 from the field goal in the last quarter. You choked like a bitch and your season was an absolute failure. Oh, by the way, Giannis, you also added some dude named Jay Crowder who didn't want to play for us because he had to come off the bench.
And then basically what his role wasn't for
and basically has no idea what he's doing in Milwaukee now. Could still be in Phoenix coming off the bench. Probably would have been the starting power forward after this trade, but instead he's over there in Milwaukee. Giannis, your season was a fucking failure. You guys were the 1 seed. You were fully healthy and you lost to a Miami team who had 1 player. 1 player. And your attack is on a fucking journalist. Wake up to yourself. Fucking weak as piss. Number 2.
All right, before you get onto your second one,
all right.
I want to apologize to Hammo right now because my flog was pretty weak and I'm usually pretty strong with my flogs. Trust me, whether it's on this pod or at home, it's fun. But sorry, Hammo, Gav's now my flog because I fucking loved that interview. Yes, everything you pointed out was correct. But the fact that he had all that ready to roll and then that stupid fucking interviewer hit him with that question and he unraveled all those questions on him, I thought that was a fucking brilliant interview.
How was that brilliant? Like, great that he came out and he made his statement and whatever else that he wanted to make.
We both work in sales.
Shit's a failure, dude.
Rejection. People throw shit at us, and what do? We think on our feet, and we put it right back fucking on him. He did exactly what you and I do every day in our fucking job. His mob fucking failed. It is.
I know they did.
That's
so
not the
let's
point.
go back 12 months. Let's go back 12 months.
Interview.
I said Giannis, not the interview. I said Giannis. That answer was fucking flog-worthy. Completely and utterly flog-worthy. He is a fucking joke for having a go at a journalist who earns 50 grand when he's on 30 million because the journalist had the gall to turn around and go, you guys were the 1 seed and you lost to Miami. Is that a failure this year? Oh, no, it's not a failure. Everything's a step to next year. How is it fucking a step to next year? You lost to the 8 seed, you motherfucker. You won't even make the playoffs next year based on that shit. And you'll go, this year's not a failure. Not making the playoffs that's not a failure. We're just building to next year. Fuck off, Giannis.
Like I said, everything you said is true, but that interview for me, if I was that quick-witted at my job and actually got away with it talking to directors of hospitals, I'd be sitting on the end of my bed literally flogging off. So maybe he is a good flog.
Number 2. My mate. The most punchable face in the NBA. Dylan fucking Brooks.
Oh, Dylan. Okay, right.
Dylan. Yo, Dylan. You look like the fucking worm out of the Men in Black movie. I've already told you this 100 times. You said after, what, was it game 2? I don't care. LeBron's old. Unless he drops 40 on me, I'm not going to respect him. Then over the preceding or the following 2, 3, 4 games, you got your fucking ass handed to you. Number 1, no matter what people's opinions of LeBron James are, LeBron James is one of the top 5 players of all time in the NBA. I've always maintained it. I will still maintain it. Dylan Brooks, you have no right to any of those comments that you made in that fucking post-game interview. Number 2, the reason you have no right to do any of that is because you're fucking shit. You shoot shit jump shots early in the shot clock. You can't hit them. You are fucking useless. And you are basically impotent. You have 1 or 2 defensive plays. You have 1 or 2 defensive plays in a fucking game. And then you run around telling everyone how fucking good you are. Dude, not only did you make those comments afterwards, but then you got your ass handed to you and refused to show up to fucking media interviews and walked out of the stadium early before media got in because you got your ass handed to you. Now, guess what?
There's two
I don't
reasons.
want to go back. I don't want to go back to the pain of last year, but the Phoenix Suns got our asses handed to us by Dallas in a fucking round 2 matchup where we lost by fucking 712 points in game 7. But every single one of our fucking players showed up and faced the media.
Game 6.
No, it was game 7. Game 7 we lost.
We lost in 6.
No, we lost in 7.
No, we didn't. We lost in 6. It's 2-4.
Pretty sure we lost in 7. Did we?
We lost 4.
All right, whatever. It was a year ago and I tried to block it out of my memory.
2 years ago, motherfucker. Look, you drunk motherfucker. It was 2
years ago. It was last season.
The finals against Milwaukee.
No, I'm talking about the Mavs last year.
Oh, fuck. Okay, that's where I'm going wrong.
No, you're fuck against the Mavs last year.
Finals. All right.
But we lost by 50 in the last game or whatever it was. But our players rocked up in front of, and good point, everyone except DA because there was like all that shit going on. But everyone rocked up and sat in front of everything, right? Now, DA didn't spend the entire playoff series fucking calling one of the greatest 3 players of all time shit and not going to respect him unless he drops 40. And I've seen it on Twitter all week, so I'm not going to claim this as me saying this, but you got your 40, Dylan. You got your 40 in the closeout game where you lost by 40. You are a fucking flog. You got beaten. You got your ass handed to you. Actually, you got your pants pulled down and spanked in front of the fucking entire nation, in front of the world. And what did you do? You ran back to the rooms, you packed your shit in your bag, and you ran out the back door so that nobody could talk to you. And now you're an unrestricted free agent. Go and sign in fucking Taiwan or for the Shanghai Sharks because you're an embarrassment. You are no good. I cannot believe that the Phoenix Suns at one stage were going to trade for you. Someone was saying before the Suns should trade him. He's got some cunt in him and whatever else. He is fucking terrible. I do not want him anywhere near this team. He's a fucking disgrace. I hope he stays in Memphis so they remain shit. Dylan Brooks, Giannis, you're my flogs. And by the way, both of you, enjoy Cancun.
Rebuttal. First of all, Coda Kid that said they just got pegged. I hope you know what pegged means in Australia. Secondly, you made a mention about DA Lee not doing the post-game interview when we lost the finals because of the shit. Granted, but he was a restricted free agent. Dylan Brooks is an unrestricted free agent. So he doesn't have a team, he doesn't have a fucking home, and he doesn't have a fucking guaranteed job next year. Who the fuck is going to want to take him if he doesn't show up and do what you did earlier and suck some fucking eggs?
No, that's not a rebuttal. You're agreeing with me.
Yeah. I had some other shit, but that's fine.
Look, let's be honest. Everything I just said about both of those two is absolutely 100% correct, and nobody can tell me any different. Anyone got any questions for us? Want us to answer it Aussie style in the chat while we just about wrap this up? Throw them in there now.
Over here.
We have one here. Nate, can the Suns play the defense required to win 4 games against Denver?
Yeah, of course. After one game, everyone treats game 1 like a learning process. If you look at the end of the regular season, we did not get to play our squad against Denver's squad. When we rocked up, they pulled players and we pulled players. So we never actually had, since we traded for KD, we never matched up against Denver lineup for lineup. So the first game was always going to be a feeling out process. Regardless of which way the victory went, it was always going to be a feeling out process. So absolutely we can.
I agree. I think defensively we can absolutely match Denver. We've proved it before. I think we can do it again. I'd like to see us extend our defense outside of the 3-point line, though. I don't think we work hard enough for that. So that can be a real challenge for us. So it's something we really have to work on, and hopefully we can do it and get there. Coda Kid says Dylan Brooks to the 36ers.
Why not? Fucking bring him into the NBL. Let's see him punch an Aussie. Let's see him punch an Aussie. Come on.
I don't go to a lot of NBL games, but if Dylan Brooks came to Melbourne to play, I would fucking pay for that shit. I would be there. I'd get thrown out like in seconds.
Fuck, mate. All you've got to say is Aussies have a lot less to fucking lose. You look at the salaries, you look at the penalties. Fuck me. You stick Dylan Brooks in the NBL, somebody's going to punch him, and there's a lot less to lose.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's be honest again, I would pay for like courtside seats just to fucking go the whole time, hoping that he'd try and front me.
Go live golf and throw a fucking beer can at the motherfucker.
All right, Nate, are the NBA store doing anything about your 52 Bridges jersey?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, they refunded it. It was a back and forth, and thankfully a friend of mine, Aaron, from an old fantasy league that I used to play in, he gave me an email address that wasn't the one that rocked up with my order, and I emailed this new email address, and they got back to me straight away. And then when I asked for a refund, Mikal Bridges has been traded. So they started quizzing me on like, why do you want a refund now? I'm like, here's my email chain. I've been messaging you since fucking the 23rd of December, and no one replied. I literally got a refund in 3 days. So yeah, so my Mikal Bridges 52 jersey, which I proudly still wear on the couch and on the toilet, is refunded free of charge. And with that money, I basically transferred it to a turquoise Durant 35 jersey, and it rocked up with the right number, even better. And then I added this little beauty in there because I've already got a jersey in purple. So I just really like the fact it was brown.
No Durant 53. That's unfortunate.
No, numbers front and back are correct. Both jerseys on the order, absolutely perfect. Brilliant.
Can Murray play any better? Fuck.
Fortunately, no. So now we know what we're dealing with. That's the best we're going to get out of him. That is literally it. That we just got best Murray. So now we just contain that shit and we make him play worse. Fuck it. Fuck him.
Does Campaign play in this series?
He fucking better. Sorry, I mean, that was my first opinion. Sorry, I was pretty quick off the mark on that one. Fuck. No, seriously, I just can't believe that he was ready to play and they played him in garbage. Fuck that shit. Get this guy back into it. He drives to the rim better than fucking Landry Shamet. His 3-point shot, while awkward as fuck, is better than Landry Shamet's. Fuck Shamet's minutes off. Give him all to Campaign.
I absolutely agree. He and we spoke about it before. It's for me, it's the Campaign energy, right? The dude just plays with energy.
He's a team
the
stuff.
Shouting, everything else. It is something that we lacked so badly today. The fact that someone can come in and play with that energy, get up in faces, scream, carry on, play with pace on the offensive end. We need it. And I think that game 2, we'll see Campaign coming off the bench as the first replacement for Chris Paul.
Fucking better.
I hope. The Crowder's jersey story is funnier. Do you want to give us a bit of the
I opened myself up to this, didn't I? At the start of the pod, I said, you don't put enough shit on me. So everyone in the chats just fucking got in on it.
Tell us the Crowder story.
The Boss 99 jersey that I bought at the Suns store with you when we went over in June last year after the Suns didn't make fucking finals. And I was a little bit bigger. And I bought XXL in fucking a Crowder jersey. And this is my biggest regret, is the Steve Nash sunburst with the exchange from black to orange down the bottom, the MVP jersey. I fucking love that. And since I got to Singapore, I'm 5 kilos lighter. It looks like a fucking drape on me. And I'm like, no, this looks like shit. I paid a fortune for it. So in regards to the Crowder jersey, though, I'm less disappointed in that piece of shit because fuck him after his last comment. I don't know what my role here is. But I'm really disappointed that I can't wear the Nash one. I'm just waiting. I'm just going to save it for when I'm like 10 years older from now. I'm like, oh, fuck my waist. Fuck my waist.
Now, the big thing is that something that really hasn't come out previously. So I want to tell the people of the story of the conversation in the store while we were there. I haven't really said this before. I've just let Nate tell the story about how he bought Crowder's
I don't even
jersey.
fucking remember it, man. We were drunk the whole
Crowder's jersey. Bought the Crowder jersey. He got traded. Then he bought the Bridges jersey. He got traded. Blah blah blah.
With the wrong number on it.
So this is the conversation that we had. We walked into the Sun store, and Nate said to me, "I just want a Valley jersey.
Yeah, I want
a Valley jersey." Yeah. We walked in. The only Valley jersey was Jay Crowder in 2XL. He put it on,
which I don't need anymore.
But he put it on, and he went, "It's a little bit big, but it's okay. It's a Valley jersey." He took it off. He looked at me with puppy eyes. It was beautiful. I was like, I felt it here.
That's 99, mother.
He turned around and he goes, Boss 99 wrapped. This cunt better not get traded.
Oh, you're bringing it all back, Gav.
And not only did he get traded, he sat out for the first half of the fucking season.
I didn't even get to wear it for fucking 20 games. So at least now when I say I wear my Mikal Bridges 52 jersey on the toilet, my Boss 99 one, I can't tell you what I do in that.
All right. Do we see any Terence Ross?
Yes. I think after 2 games of shit Shamit, if Monty doesn't experiment with Ross's actual ability to hit threes, given the fucking appalling 3-point percentage of this game, and not just percentage attempts, I think there's got to be pressure on him to do something different.
I think that we see Terence Ross, but in a different way than what you see it.
Okay.
So I think that Cameron Payne will take the Shamit minutes.
That's okay.
And I think that Terence Ross will take the Damian Lee minutes.
That's still okay.
I like Damian Lee. I love
not today's game. I didn't.
He adds it.
Not in today's game.
He is just as poor as Terence Ross on defense. And while his 3-point percentage was high during the regular season, the dude can't hit his fucking side of a barn. Now, he gives us the maybe.
For everyone who's listening, that Aussie statement is can't hit the broadside of a barnyard.
Yeah. Damian Lee can maybe hit a 3, maybe hit a floater, blah, blah, blah. But Terence Ross can hit the 3, can hit the jump shot, can be everything else. I really hope that we see Cameron Payne take the Shamit minutes, and I hope that we see Terence Ross take the Damian Lee minutes. The only other statement I'll make off the back of that is I don't get the love for fucking TJ Warren. He's cooked. The Suns fan base is fucking so obsessed with just putting TJ Warren on the floor.
Bro. It's
but
the
he's
unknown.
Not. If we're playing Damian Lee for 8 to 10 minutes a game, replace that with Terence Ross, I'm good with that. But replacing it with TJ Warren, I'm not so much.
Yeah, I agree with you, Gav, in the fact that the way the system runs, like Terence Ross fits the system better. TJ Warren, you can't deny that he's had his moments as a
He's
scorer.
a better shooter.
I'm not denying
TJ
that.
buckets can hit, but Terence Ross is a better shooter.
We don't understand a single fucking injury this motherfucker has ever had. That's the problem. But every time he gets on the court, he does something that goes, oh, you sit there and you go, fucking, he's shown up.
I haven't.
But then he's not on the court for 3 more weeks. So
I haven't seen it this season, right? Like for me, I don't see what people have seen TJ Warren do this year since he's come back from Brooklyn. I don't see it personally. Now, I'm happy to suck eggs if TJ Warren comes in and plays those fucking D League minutes, and
you sucked them tonight.
Does all right,
so it's another opportunity to make you suck eggs. I'm gonna bring it up.
But Terence Ross is going to impact the scoreboard in a far more positive way than what TJ Warren is, and both of them are shit at defense.
Or system fit.
Well, definitely on system fit, especially if
and that's what leads
Ross
to the
comes
positive
in.
record.
If Ross comes in and plays in a rotation, and KD, Book, and CP and whoever else is at centre, is on the floor, the gravity is going to give Terence Ross shots. Now, I'm more confident that Terence Ross is going to hit those shots. Actually, I'm more confident that Terence Ross or Damian Lee are going to hit those shots than I am TJ Warren. If TJ Warren sees minutes, and I'm not talking about dead time minutes, actual minutes in the playoffs, I think we're in trouble.
How much more have we got left to go here, Gav? Because I'm about to bust a fucking poo-poo valve here. I'm like, I'm busting for a piss. We've been going for an hour and 25 with an absolute garbage agenda.
The questions are gone. So, Nate, any last comments?
Oh, I did have one, actually. I was going to mention that I wasn't invited to be on Hammo's new pod, but that's okay. And the other one I had was to do with my sign-off, Baku. Fucking F1 this weekend. I'm excited. I literally blocked out my whole weekend so that I could sit at home on beIN Sports and watch the F1. It's Baku. I can't fucking pronounce the name of the country, but it's Baku. So the sprint.
You sit and watch cars drive around circles for entertainment.
Yes. But sometimes I watch them go into a wall. Sometimes they light on fire. Yeah, if the Baku practice races were anything to go by, the first race, the very first practice, there was a crash and Pierre Gasly lit on fire. So, and then it just proceeded to. So
what I'm going to say here is
tomorrow's night. Tonight's race is going to be fucking great.
If you dare call that shit a sport, I'm going to fucking lose it. So, debate wise, for those of you in the comments on Twitter, hit me up. I have a fucking philosophy, right? If it doesn't have a ball or a ball type object, it's not a sport.
It's got a fucking tire. It's got four of the cunts.
That's not a ball type object. If they drove around the fucking track pushing a ball around and they had to get that over, that's a sport.
Half of the steering wheel is round.
Dude, it's not a ball. They're not passing it to anyone.
You know what? I
have a lifelong philosophy. Those of you that are listening, if you're still fucking here, well done.
Exactly.
Those of you that have a philosophy on this, my philosophy is if it doesn't have a ball or a ball type object, it's not a sport. Put it in the fucking chat if you want right now. Anyone that says running is not a sport. It's a fitness activity. Those of you that say swimming, once again, fitness activity. They're not sports.
I just want to repeat what I said earlier. I want to change my flog to Gav. Flog of the week is now Gavin for multiple reasons, which he's just presented.
Do you have any more last comments?
We did this. Chris, you chimed in a little too late.
You'll have to wind back. We did do this, but both of us have picked the Suns.
There was a lot of swearing and a lot of funny comments.
A lot of swearing. It was pretty funny. Go back, listen to earlier in the show. It was pretty fun. Follow us on Aussie Suns Fans, Twitter, YouTube, all that sort of stuff. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you comment. Make sure you subscribe.
Actually, be careful about your comments.
Yeah. I don't care about the comments. Hook us up. Make sure you do that. Give us 5-star ratings on Apple. Everything else.
And just for the record, it's still Aussie Suns Fans podcast.
It's still the Aussie Suns Fans
we've
podcast.
We've decided at the end of it.
Most
of our listeners are American.
We changed for a couple of days.
Can't pronounce it.
We changed for a couple of days to Suns Down Under, but we changed back to Aussie Suns Fans because we really don't care.
Too much shit from the rest of us for caving to Americans.
We really don't care whether you Americans can say Aussie. And Cody Kid, you're right. Boxing is not a sport. There is no, it's just two idiots punching on. It's like UFC. It's fucking dumb.
The greatest Aussie sport ever. It happens
That's
at the
not
pub
a sport.
every weekend.
That's a punch on. It's not a sport. That's it. Make sure you do all that sort of shit. Just remember, guys, Boyd can go fuck himself, and we're not here to fuck spiders. We love you. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week, hopefully with a full crew. But whatever. We had fun today, and that's what this podcast is about. Getting on.
We don't know if we're going to have a full crew. Somebody else might be doing their own thing, so
This podcast is about us getting on, talking Suns, having fun, and making sure that we're not here to fuck spiders. See you guys.
As Chris Paul ball, gets in, another wide open three.
Pierre Cardin.
Defers to Booker for the long range.
Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the valley, it ain't nothing but